Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So here's my review for Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 2. This episode focused a lot on Morgan and on Grace and sort of set the foundation for what the story is going to be here. So yeah, I want to get my thoughts on this episode. So obviously, before we go any further, I do have to warn you that this will contain spoilers for Episode 2 of Fear the Walking Dead. I know a lot of people are just now getting into Fear the Walking Dead because it is premiering tonight, so yeah, this will contain spoilers for episode 2 and not really for episode 1. I won't reference it too much. I'll more talk about episodes 1 and 2 kind of together for episode 3. It kind of seems like, at least based off of the episode 3 trailer, that episodes 1 and 2 are sort of the standalone episodes to set up everything, right? Sort of thing. And I mean, I really enjoyed both of them, so they were really good setup, which I find really weird how Fear the Walking Dead can do really, like, I don't know what it is about Fear the Walking Dead in terms of the quality of the show and the quality of the dialogue specifically, but like, The Walking Dead sometimes can't even pull this off. And somehow Fear is now capable of doing that. Like episode 2, not a lot happened in terms of progressing the story, but for some reason it was so entertaining and I just found myself so interested in it. And like, I really like, people gotta go back and watch Fear the Walking Dead now. I think they gotta start off with season 6 and then get it here into season 7 because it is really good. So obviously, if you are new here, make sure to be a subscriber. If you do want to get all of my Fear the Walking Dead content all season long, as well as The Walking Dead, I actually will be doing a Walking Dead video later on tonight, breaking down some new stuff, and I also want to do my World Beyond video later on. Also, for members, if you are a member of the channel, I'm going to be doing my live Q&A tomorrow. So I'll announce the time on Twitter and stuff like that. You'll probably get the notification and see that I'm live anyways. But yeah, I'm going to do that members live stream tomorrow. I'm also going to do my episode commentary on Tuesday. That will be out. I'm going to be doing episode 4 of World Beyond. And then next week, I'm going to do episode 5 of World Beyond, or maybe episode 3 of Fear. I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, just looking at my schedule here, I have a lot of stuff here. I will also be doing my Discord Q&A. I believe that is on... That's tomorrow. Yeah, because I asked for a bunch of questions on Discord. That Q&A will be going live tomorrow. So yeah, I took the last few days off. I just kind of wanted to break a little bit. You know, it was the fall. I wanted to enjoy some time with our family. We actually got 2 new kittens, which is really exciting. The kids love them. They're so excited, and that's why I wanted to get them, was for the kids. I wanted to see their excitement because I had cats growing up. But yeah, I had a nice few days, and now let's get back to business because the Walking Dead universe is still very alive right now, and we are building to the very last episode of World Beyond, which is very exciting. We just finished episode 4. We're almost halfway, and so yeah, that's really exciting. I can't wait to get Jada's back on the show. I can't wait to just get into all that. So anyways, this story, like I said, focused a lot on Morgan and Grace and them trying to take Mo, the baby, or baby Morgan, out of, I guess, the fallout zone is what you would call it. And I really like the visuals, and I think that's what I'll keep saying that in every video, unless like what it is more specifically, it's not necessarily all the yellows and stuff like that, like the smoke, the radiation, how polluted it is, how yellow it is. I don't really like that part about it. What I actually like is when it's nighttime, because it's almost green in the air, right? So you have those yellows mixed with those greens, and it just looks like a nuclear fallout. It looks really, in a weird way, it just looks really beautiful. And I think that's one of the aspects of the episode that I just feel myself so captivated by, especially when we get to those nighttime shots. It's just something that I see as soon as it's night, and then I'm like, oh, damn, that looks so good. And that just sort of absorbs me into the story a bit more. There's a lot of great character stuff here, though, great dialogue, and I don't know, like, I feel like if there were ghostwriters on the show, it would have already been known. I don't know why Fear the Walking Dead got so good. No idea, but their dialogue specifically it's improved tremendously. It is so good. Grace and Morgan are such fantastic characters, and that's one of those things. Morgan, first of all, Morgan mentions Dwayne in this episode, which I thought was really cool. But Morgan is one of those characters that is just like, he's just like Rick. He will fight to survive forever, right? He will not give up. And I know sometimes things could look really bad, but he's going to keep going and keep going. Like, he's going to fight to survive for as long as he can, right? Like, I feel like even if he's dead, he's going to be fighting to survive. Like, that's what those characters are. They're very inspirational like that. Doesn't matter what they go through. They're so confident in their survival and protecting other people. That's why they are leaders, right? Grace, and I mean, not to say she's not a leader or anything like that. I mean, I would say she's definitely not really leadership material. in the sense that, she also does have her other emotional things. And I like that they touched on that here a little bit more because she just lost a baby, right? And it would be so heartbreaking to think that she's just moved on like that and she's like normal, right? Because if anyone ever lost something like that, and I haven't, so I don't know what it's like, but I can imagine that it is so painful that if you just got another baby a month later, like you're just going to be fine. Like, obviously not, right? And I sort of feel bad because looking back to episodes 16 and 15, I just assumed that, well, they have this baby or whatever, so I guess, that's going to be their family now. Obviously not. Obviously, Grace can't just do that. So I like that they actually, they brought that up, and that was a big part of the episode here. It was, she just can't do that. Obviously, that baby Morgan is not Athena and will never be Athena. And so I like that aspect to it because I really feel like Grace is such a honest and, recognizable character, and during this episode, she was sort of like, she was just kind of done. She took her mask off. She's like, I don't care if I die. Like, I just want you guys to survive. You guys can get as far away as you can. Because to her, the baby is just a baby. It's not her baby. And so in this episode, I don't think she got to the point where she's like, I'm going to protect you forever. She even says to Morgan at the end, like, I'm still in this place. I want you and the baby to be safe, but I'm still in this place for me personally. But it seems like she's able to at least kind of move on for a little bit. And so, like, I do like the fact that they brought that up. I think that was super important. I will say the rules of radiation are really weird. Like, I understand that there's radiation everywhere and, wearing whatever will protect you from it. But, like, there's just the little things that kind of bother me, right? Like, you have these two random characters that show up. These two characters are like covered with radiation. I can't remember what the hell you call it, but that decimeter or whatever it's called. Not decimeter, I guess, decimeter. That thing was going off like crazy because they showed up, which shows that, yeah, they have radiation poisoning to a whole other level. I mean, look at their faces. It was nuts, right? And they were touching baby Morgan, or at least they were close to it. They were touching the car. They were touching a lot, like they were sitting in the car. Morgan at one point was fighting them. So, like, that stuff is going to be on their suits. That's the thing. I think you got to ignore all of that, right? I feel like in reality, Morgan and baby Morgan and Grace are going to have radiation poisoning for sure. Like it just makes no sense. It makes no sense that they avoided all of it throughout all of that, taking your mask off and everything. And I'm not an expert on this. I should say I'm really not an expert on this. But when you watch the show Chernobyl, which is based off of real life events, right? The Chernobyl disaster back in the 80s, they really make a point of like, they all have it. They didn't even go close to it. Like that explosion didn't burn clean. It was burning for a long time, sure. And so radiation was constantly pouring out, but they were still they weren't even anywhere near it. But, they were just in that town and they're like, okay, well, we're all screwed. So I don't know the rules of radiation. I really don't. But obviously, this is a television show. You just kind of have to ignore some of that here, at least if you want to have some cool scenes, right? And so I think this show just kind of went for more of the cool stuff instead of that. But then again, I don't know the rules of radiation. So the big reveal in this episode is obviously that Strand knows that Morgan is here, right? And so that's going to be interesting. Like Strand and Morgan really hate each other. It's crazy. And I guess you could have saw that going back to the later episodes in season 6, because Strand at one point almost got Morgan killed. But like, I always thought they just kind of like, Morgan was like, Strand, you're just annoying. You're always in it for yourself, this and that, but you've never killed anyone. You're still kind of on our side. So we're working together. I just don't like you. Like, if we're in the same community, I'm just going to completely avoid you because I just don't like you. But Morgan hates Strand. And I guess considering what happened in episode 15, I believe it was, I don't think it was the finale. I think it was in 15. Strand almost killed Morgan. I guess it makes a lot of sense. And I'm honestly so excited for that. I figured that they were just going to have them hate each other, and then at some point they're just going to start to like each other. Like, I feel like the show does that quite a bit. Not this show, but just the shows in the Walking Dead universe a lot, right? Like, because Strand is a fan favorite, because Morgan's a fan favorite, you can't really have them hate each other too much, right? You can't do what you're doing with Strand, really. And I'm happy that they're actually going out and making Strand the villain. And I hope they commit to it. I don't want it to be a thing where Strand just like folds later on. it kind of reminds me of the thing with Daryl and Carol. Now, obviously, they're both going to be on our side, but I feel like the writers sort of bend a little bit here. Like what Carol did to Connie, people should be so pissed off about, and people were pissed off about it. And Daryl should be a lot more mad than he was because she was being so reckless. It's understandable, but you can't just like love someone like that for, you know what I mean? It's not like they're like a close family and stuff. Like they are a close family. Like they've known each other for 10 years at that point, but like they're just friends in that sense, right? It's not like they've been together for a very long time. They can be a lot more. I mean, even family members fight, you know. Carol did something crazy. She got someone killed. Literally got someone killed. Well, that's what they figured anyways, right? Obviously, we know Connie survived that whole thing, but like Daryl should have been way more pissed off. But I feel like the writers and stuff are going to be like, well, no, we can't put Daryl and Carol against each other because the fans aren't going to like that. We just can't do that. We can't make that crazy of a change. We can't make Carol the villain, which she wouldn't have been the villain, but I think you could have did a lot more here. And so I'm so happy that they're doing that with Strand. They're just like, yeah, it makes sense the character is doing this. These characters don't like each other. They hate each other. Let's just keep it that way. You know, I think where it gets a little more complex is between like Strand and Alicia. But even then, it seems like that bridge is almost burnt down. Like, I think Alicia just does not give a shit about Strand. And I think there's a little thing there because of, you know, their connection to the beginning. But I think ultimately, if Alicia was forced to kill Strand at some point later on this season, because maybe that's how Strand dies, right? If he's the ultimate villain this season, I think she just does it. I don't even think she thinks twice about it. She's just like, no, you know what? I have to do this. And then that happens. And so I'm super excited that Strand is like the big villain here. I like the fact that it really does connect to the Pioneer storyline last season. And then they also built up some stuff throughout the end as the beginning arc. And now we have this whole other thing with Padre and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where Fear is going here. I think that they're building up this whole season really nicely right now. Episode 3 looks so good, but obviously I'll do a video on that after this. So post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.